Hey everybody, it's your girl Reese and you are tuned into In Your Business. And today I have my long time friend Antonio, aka Mr. Clean.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Very glad to be here. What's up, Reese?
Mr. Clean and them shades and everything. So glad that you made it on my show finally.
It's been a long time coming, but I gotta let you know that I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're really making a mark in the community. You're helping out artists. You're helping out other folks that are interested in radio and communications, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And that with that being said, back in the days when we used to hang and whatever, I had no idea that you were musical, like playing the trumpet.
Yeah.
So tell me a little, because this is new to me now, So
yeah, of course.
Tell me about this journey with the trumpet. What got you into it, and why you're going into it full speed now?
Well, that's actually the best question that I've been asked for a very long time. So I'll go back to the beginning. So my family, we're all musicians in some sense. Like my grandfather, he was the organist for our church in Hampstead, St. Mary.
Okay, big up St. Mary.
St. Mary. and then my father, he played the banjo. And then all of my aunts and a lot of my cousins, they're vocalists. So it was always in the family. But for me, when the trumpet became a mainstay in my life was in 6th grade. And my mom said, now that we have, like, we came from Jamaica to the US, and I didn't have anything that was mine. Like, I wasn't any sports, anything like that. So mom said, maybe you should do chorus. And I said, no, I don't like chorus. So then I started doing band, and then she bought my first trumpet.
Okay.
Ironically, the brand of the trumpet was a blessing trumpet. And from then I started to learn, and obviously, I didn't get any private lessons, but somehow, some way, I became the best trumpet player in the school. And started winning awards and stuff, and then I gave it a break in high school because I went to a new high school here in Coral Springs from West Palm. And then I got back into it, and then again, I was the best trumpet player in the school. So I was like, maybe this is something here. And the reason why I gravitated back towards it now is after many years, I decided not to go to college with the trumpet because I wanted to have my fun. And I went to FSU, which they have one of the best bands in the country, but it's like a military.
Okay.
Like you wake up at 5 a.m. every day of the week and that stuff.
For band?
Yeah, for band. So I said, I want to live my college life, so I left it alone. And then for my mother's 70th birthday, I went and bought a trumpet just so I could play Happy Birthday for her.
Okay.
And that's when I picked it back up.
And you felt that whole vibe coming back to wanting to do it.
Yeah, it all gravitated. It was like full circle. From the time she bought me the blessing trumpet, and then bring the blessings back to show my appreciation.
I think the first time I heard you, because as I said, we used to hang out, and you never mentioned anything about trumpet.
Yeah.
I think it was at your birthday party where you played, you did, and I was like, wait, hold on.
I used to play that once in a while for friends and stuff after Mummy's birthday.
Yeah.
And the reaction was always like, oh wow, like people were always taken aback by it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of folks play instruments, but I don't think a lot of folks play trumpet, and two, I don't think a lot of folks realize how impactful live music is.
Right.
So then when I started realizing, like, oh shoot, that's when I started to get back into it as a musician.
Okay, and I do love it. I'm bougie already, so that is like bougie music to me.
Bougie vibes.
Bougie vibes. I like bougie vibes. So are you planning on like going full speed with this? Like you're not doing it for a hobby. Are we making it into like you want to make it a career, like get?
Wow. So it's interesting. I don't know if I could make it a career, but
when I say career, I mean, you know how music is out there, people putting out their music, and before you know it, it blow up, and next thing you know, oh, Antonio, oh my God, can you sign my,
Yeah, no,
It starts off as a just something like that.
you know what, I've thought about it, and the way that I view my appreciation for the trumpet is it boils back to my appreciation for music. And the thing about it is that everybody is like, what do you love to do? What do you like? Music, 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 music. So I never downplay everyone else's appreciation for music, right? But I think I have a certain niche when it comes to that, and it started with Michael Jackson. Like, the way that I appreciated Michael Jackson was much different than how everybody else appreciated Michael and other artists, right? So that's what started me on the journey. And now with the trumpet, I want to bring people a different version of music.
Yes.
So it's an extension of me, but it's also an extension of all the artists that I love. Like, I have songs where I give I pay ode to the older artists. Like, I have a version of Wonderful World with Louis Armstrong.
Okay.
I have Michael Jackson stuff. I have Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Like, I pay ode to all of the classics, all of the people that have paved the way for individuals like me. And now I want to give them a different rendition of it with the trumpet.
With the trumpet.
So, but my thing is I want to keep it modern, but also
Old school.
let them know the classics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were having a conversation before we started, and you said something about, yo, I'm gonna get me my Grammy. So we gonna manifest that.
Yo.
This is so when you get your Grammy, you
manifest the Grammy.
You're gonna manifest it. This Antonio's gonna have his Grammy, and you're gonna come back to this interview like, yo, Reese was in my business, trying to find out, and that's a good thing.
You know what? It's funny you say that, because I think that with a lot of circumstances when it comes to independent artists, you set the bar kind of low, because it's intimidating, right? You don't have a major studio backing you or major funds and a big budget. You kind of have to figure it out and just grow it organically. So for me, I set a major goal. I want to win a Grammy. And how I think I'm going to win the Grammy, hopefully, God willing, is I want people to understand why I'm really focused on the music based off of the darkest moments of my life, the moments that hurt the most, and the lessons that I've learned right now that make me the man that I am from the darkest time of trying to bring my child into this world. And my first single is going to be Chase, which
you just will lead it right into that note, the journey of your fatherhood, which a lot of people won't know. But I'm glad you're so open with this, because a lot of people a lot of couples are going through what you went through. And I remember I had interviewed you a long time, like extensively. We went really down in it. And
I remember.
So if you could just give my viewers, tell us about your journey with your lovely son. He was well planned for, and like he is like the prince.
Yes, absolutely. So my wife and I, when we first started dating, the reason why I fell in love with her is because she hit every single thing on my list, right?
Oh, yes, and we know you.
Yeah, I was that person that was like, I'm not going to venture into that territory and enter that sphere of life unless I find the right one.
And I am as your friend, I am so proud of you. Listen, you did the damn thing.
I remember how things were before and how I got there. So I appreciate you remembering. It was really cool to be able to find someone that hit every single part of the list, and I was so excited. And then
big up to Maryland, big up.
Big up, big up Noli Poly, the gal them Rolly, because all the gal them just a watch.
And that's my friend, okay?
So yeah, we were hitting the stride when it comes to our bond and our dating, and we said, what, let's start a family. Like it was that vibe, like let's start a family. And then we decided to take the leap, and when we took the leap, we kind of fell. And that's when we realized, like, oh, although everything else is perfect,
Something.
There's probably, challenges that we will encounter that aren't perfect, because this one is a pretty tough one for us. So we got pregnant, and then we had a miscarriage, and then we said, you know what, let's just try again. It's probably a one-off, because we didn't know too many people that had miscarriages. It's something that's not discussed more times than not, and it's something that people keep
To themselves.
probably close to their chest and in their immediate circle. It's a tough conversation. So, and then we were able to regroup and recover, and we said, you know what, okay, so let's give it another try. Third time's a charm. And then the third time was not the charm. And then we had a miscarriage again. And, fast forward, and it was 7 miscarriages. And then we realized, okay,
Something.
we've got a problem.
Yeah.
And life goes on. Like, everything is going on with your friends, your families. And with us, we were kind of stuck in that mode right there of having to replay these disasters and the depression and the challenges over and over and over and over again. So my wife, she's a fighter, and we figured out different options, and the option that we ended up with was surrogacy.
Real quick before you go there, because I know you guys were fairly young in the marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're very young.
Did it bring like a strain to the marriage?
Yeah.
Because y'all had everything was like perfect. From the outside looking in, y'all was just perfect. Everything was going good. You're married. You have the girl, the house, everything. Right. So being so young in the marriage, it kind of. That was a test, I guess. Yeah,
and remember, I never thought that I was cut out for marriage, right? Because I preferred the alternative for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So, no, it was a huge strain, and it was tough to get past, because, most of the times when you encounter challenges, just in regular life, you encounter a challenge or an obstacle, you just like, you know what? Let me give up and find another path.
Yeah.
But it's for me, since I searched so long to find the right woman, I decided that, a commitment is a commitment. And I wanted to fully commit to finding the solution to the challenge that we were experiencing. And that's the first time in my life where I think that was outside of my mother, right? Like, my mother, she's my saving grace. She's taught me everything, helped me to become the man that I am.
We love mommy.
Yeah, mommy.
We love mommy.
Big up mommy.
Big up mommy. We love mommy.
She helped to really create the person I am today, and I just couldn't walk away when my wife was experiencing a challenge.
Yeah.
And I would hate if she would have walked away if the tables were turned.
Right.
So, but it was tough in the beginning, considering the circumstances from my perspective as a man. But that's why it's so important when you make that commitment that you stick to it, because it's thick and thin.
Yeah, that's what the vows say.
And it's compromise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So then fast forward now, you decided to take another route.
Yeah, so we tried
and that
several
wasn't
things.
easy.
No, we tried several things. So we tried IVF locally. We tried, I forgot the name of the specialist. It was like I forgot the name. But there's a specialist that was in Detroit, so we were going to Detroit to get the treatments there. And then there was another doctor that we tried, and none of it worked. So at that point, we said, you know what, let's figure out the next step. And the next step was to do surrogacy. So surrogacy would allow us to have, our genes, our DNA. So it was my egg, or my sperm, her egg, and then we would be able to.
The surrogate is just the carrier.
Surrogate is just a carrier.
Right. Okay.
So after a lot of research, the wife was fully involved with that. So after the research, we realized that the best path and the best program was in Ukraine. So in Ukraine, they have their surrogacy program. It's like medical tourism, right? So they have different laws and different procedures that are aligned with encouraging people to come to their country for surrogacy. So it really worked in favor when it comes to the passport and the birth of the child and citizenship, so on and so forth. So we moved forward. And also that the cost was much less than
I was
in
going to
the other
ask you that.
places as well. The cost was much, I mean, still extremely expensive, but it was much less. So we went over to Kyiv, and you know, we met with the company. The company is Delivering Dreams. Shout out again to Delivering Dreams. They delivered our dream.
Nice.
So thank you so much to the team there. And we went to Kyiv, and I mean, Ukraine is such a beautiful country. I mean, we traveled a lot. We hit up so many countries. We hit up Bangkok,
yes.
we hit up Phuket.
We know because we were traveling through you.
Yeah, Iceland. We hit up, you know, Brazil. We hit up so many. We hit up like 18 countries. And ironically, Kyiv was one of our favorites.
Nice.
So we were there for 3 weeks to go through all the processes, the tests, and everything. And you know, we absolutely loved Kyiv. And then we went back home, figured out the process for the surrogate, interviewed a couple. First one didn't work out. Second one gave us the same result that we had, which is a miscarriage, unfortunately. And then the third one, she was perfect. She helped us to get through everything. And the irony in all of this is that we were fighting this war when it came to having this baby.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
And then we ended up having to go back during the war, because we started before, and then when the war broke out in February, we had no choice but to go back. So we actually had an article with the New York Times.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And they interviewed us, and they interviewed a surrogate, and we preferred to bring her to somewhere safe. Mm-hmm. We didn't know where the war was going to take us, so we wanted to make sure the baby was safe. Mm-hmm. So we brought her to Poland, and then we went up there in September. And after everything was going on, even a moment where a bomb, we were in Lviv, which is the western part of the country, where there weren't any issues. Mm-hmm. And then we actually had to go through a moment where there was a bomb struck the electric
This is
grid.
like a movie.
It really is.
This is like a Lifetime movie.
It is.
You know?
It is. So a bomb struck the electric grid while we were there, and it was terrifying. It felt like a movie, right? Like I didn't know what to do, and all I'm focused on is being a protector and a provider, and making sure my wife is comfortable and the baby's safe. And we'll fill in the details eventually. But we were able to, wait long enough and get through the challenges to, get our baby boy. And
what's baby boy's name?
His name is Nolan Chase and Tonio Hanchard.
Nolan? Man, I tell you, what you had to go through to get Nolan, but I know that it was worth everything.
It was right now, like every time people ask me, how's life going? And even if it's not perfect, I say, I'm living the dream.
Yeah. So
it's perfect right now.
You wrote, okay, before I go to that part, when you saw Nolan for that first time, like, what was your feeling like? Because after going through everything, 7 miscarriages, all everything, when you saw him first, what was your initial reaction? Did you cry?
So, well, let me tell you, so before we saw him, remember, we kept on going through challenges, so in the back of our minds, we were prepared for another...
The worst.
We were prepared for another, conversation like we've had with numerous doctors before, where they're telling us that, this didn't work out, and then we were in the waiting room waiting for the good news, and then they came and they said, you know what, he has a minor blah, 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 I think it was like pneumonia in his lungs, and he was going to be in the NICU, so we couldn't see him immediately. So it was like on top of everything, and we get to this point.
Right, so now he's here.
Another roadblock. Yeah, so in the back of my mind, I was thinking, you know what? I've already dealt with 7 names that we've chosen. I've already dealt with, so many moments where we're building up to find our happy place. And we were just let down, so maybe this is the latest letdown.
Right.
So I was resigned to the fact that I would actually be able to see my son at that point. And but he's a fighter, man. He's a fighter. He was able to pull through within 4 or 5 days in the NICU, and I'll never forget it. The moment that I finally got a chance to see him and touch him. And he's still the same way. This is the irony. The man pushed on my finger. He's like, leave me alone, daddy. Yeah.
Like, what you bothering me for? Yeah.
So he still does that now.
Right.
Like if I give him some food, you know what? He's like, yeah.
But you take it, you whatever.
Yeah, but I felt it that the first time I saw him, I felt that his personality was very strong. And yeah, I'll never forget that. But before I got to see him, that was the final obstacle we had to overcome.
And he is a handful now, right?
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
So I know you wrote a song
Yeah.
for Noland.
Yeah.
So give us a little, tell us about the song that you wrote for him.
So the song that I wrote, it's so funny because, as I mentioned before, music has been the foundation of everything that I've done. Not just listening to it on the radio and stuff, but actually composing songs, like from start to finish. Every single note of several different songs that I've created. I've created hundreds of songs throughout the years.
So how come you not creating a song for me? I'm not worthy?
It's a come, man. it's a come. It's going to be called Good Vibes.
Oh, all right, you heard it, people.
Good Vibes song coming. But yeah, no, so yeah, I was really in a bad place, and I had to connect with all of the different tools that I learned with music throughout the years, and I came up with the song because that was my only way to work through the hurt. And we chose Chase as the first name of our child that didn't make it through miscarriage.
Okay.
So I always said to myself that it doesn't matter how many times it takes, it's going to be Chase. Mm-hmm. And I wrote the song called Chase because, you know, we kept on chasing. And I came up with the phrase chase the wind. So I was like, we will chase the wind, baby, we will chase the wind till we win. So we were chasing the wind because the way I viewed it was like, I think my wife and I were on the beach at some point, and that's the same exact feeling that I was feeling, is that we were chasing the wind. Because if you think about the wind, it's all around. So there, you know, parents all around, families all around. It's all around you.
Right.
But we couldn't catch it.
Couldn't catch it.
We couldn't catch it. So we were going to chase the wind until we win, and we won.
Yep.
Baby boy.
So are you going to release that song?
Yeah. I actually, I'm finishing it up now. I have a Grammy-nominated producer that actually helped me produce it. So we co-produced it together.
Name dropping Grammy. Okay. Hey, Grammy with
So yeah, so it's gonna be released very soon.
And once it's released, it will be playing on Good Vibes Radio.
First place is Good Vibes Radio.
Good Vibes Radio, yes.
So that's the plan, and it's the biggest message that I could ever give the world, because it's not about me. The rest of the lyrics that I wrote, it's about anybody that's going through anything challenging, because our story is not the only challenging story that people are facing. Everybody has their own road to travel, their own obstacles, their own roadblocks, and the message in the song is to keep chasing until you get to the point where you can accomplish what you really want. And
I'm so glad you are so open about this particular subject, because there's a lot of couples that are going through it. Yeah. So before we wrap up,
well, let me make one more thing clear, because the issue I ran into with the New York Times article, right? I appreciate the opportunity, because it's one of the biggest publications in the world, so I really appreciated it. But I felt that they did not do us justice when it came to really telling the story. Because instead of saying, oh, this is a beautiful story of a mother and father that, you know, were able to achieve their dreams and their goals of bringing a child into this world and starting a family, they made it more so about the salacious aspect, like the sensationalism about the surrogacy thing. And I think the connotation sometimes, or the way that people view surrogacy, is that surrogates aren't treated well, and it's, you know, it's like there's many different aspects when it comes to surrogacy. And the comments that I saw on the article were very unfair, and being a part of that, I felt insulted, and I want to make sure that people understand that when it comes to surrogacy, it's something that is beautiful because you have someone that is willing to, you know, give a portion of their life to help parents to reach their goal.
That's a sacrifice right there.
Huge sacrifice.
You know?
And a lot of people didn't agree with it because they weren't aware and they were ignorant.
Right.
And it hurt us and it hurt me to see the responses. So I want to make sure that people understand that there are good places and good companies that do it the right way. The surrogates are compensated fairly and taken care of, you know, benefits, so on and so forth. And then they help folks to achieve their dreams. So I want to make that very clear because it was a very, very challenging moment to deal with people that were ignorant to the fact.
And maybe there's somebody,
the importance of,
and maybe there are couples out there right now, hopefully they'll be seeing the show, that they had like reservations about it, and hearing you come out and saying that this is what you went through, and you know, it's not like, oh, I don't want to mess up my body, so let me use a surrogate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You guys went through 7 miscarriages and you wanted a child.
Exactly.
You know, so.
Exactly. So that's the main thing from that part of the story.
Right.
And then. Yeah,
it's all positiveness from here. So
positivity.
It's all positive.
It's been great with our family. It's been great. So I want to make sure I communicate to everyone that it's all
because a lot of people are not
beautiful.
They're not educated on that.
No,
right? They want to see what's in the.
We weren't even educated when my wife brought it to me. I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
You know, but after going through the process and learning more about it.
And look at you now with Nolan.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Exactly. So, but it's important for us to, you know, this is a vehicle to educate others.
Yes.
So I want people, if you have any misconceptions about that, do your research.
Yes.
Do your research.
Maybe you should be a spokesperson. Hey, go around and talk to couples. Hey.
I don't.
Your story could help another couple. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we've actually, you know, other couples have reached out to us about it. So no, we're happy to talk to anybody that's interested in learning more about it.
Okay.
But the bottom line is that after everything, once you get that end result of having your baby, it's the best thing in the world. So.
Well, thank you, Mr. Clean.
Yes.
Antonio, for stopping by.
Yes.
And having me in your business.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Reese love the tea.
Yeah.
And before we sign off, I forgot to ask you what's in your cup.
Right now it's some white rum.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the next time we'll be cheering, it's going to be the Grammys.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So it's your girl. Join us next time in your business. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.